So, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming, mate. And for those at home, we've been chatting for ages before, and I was like, mate, we got to get this done because otherwise
we're just trying to get all the controversial
shit out of the way because Ryan doesn't like talking about race because he's bored of it. But I want to stitch you up. No, but I understand. No, I don't really want to talk about that either. So I'm going to start off, and I did say to you that I would ask you this.
Yes.
And you had a beautiful answer. I love this. Is there a difference for jungle and drum and bass?
Oh yeah, I'll just repeat what I came up with.
Please repeat what you said this morning. This is brilliant.
I can't believe I just thought of this. Jungle is James Brown.
Yeah.
Drum and bass is Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
Done. Nothing else to say about it.
Nothing more to say. So that's it. You heard it here first. So what got you started, man? When was the...
Music or drum and bass?
Music first, but where did you grow up, first of all?
Florida.
In Florida, right, okay. Because so in terms of American exposure to jungle, was there much? Or
thanks to people like AK, yeah.
Right, yes, of course, who we have on this channel. Go and check out his podcast. So AK 1200 was pivotal?
He was the big drum and bass DJ that lived around us. You know, all the rave parties that weren't jungle parties, he would at least have a slot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's how I heard it, was by not trying to hear it.
Yeah.
You know?
And over time, what was it? Was it going out to parties or?
Yeah, it was drugs basically. You know, my best mate, as you call them.
Yeah.
He took me to an all-night rave and gave me some ecstasy tablets, and I didn't enjoy the music in the party, but it was like a 3-room event.
Yeah.
So eventually, by close to the end of the night, I found like where the drum and bass was hidden.
Yeah.
Deep in the back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this music doesn't suck like all the other stuff I've been hearing all night. You know?
Yeah. Well, what was playing? Out of curiosity.
I don't remember, man.
Remember,
it was like 96, 97, 98, one of those years.
Okay.
So it had to be like, I feel like the first kind of drum and bass that I heard and liked was like the Timeless / Moving Shadows / Platinum Breaks. Which I consider like future jungle, right?
Yeah.
And like Booklyn, more like the future jungle. That was my first introduction, and then being like, I like that, you know?
Yeah.
And I bought a couple CDs, which I had to like drive hours to get. Mm-hmm. The CDs I had was Timeless, Platinum Breaks Volume 2.
Yeah.
And Dom and Rollin' Industry. Yeah, so that's what I started with, was just that, man. Just listening to that stuff.
See, don't get me wrong, we'll get to Platinum Breaks, but Industry is one of those seminal albums. I'm such a big fan of Dom.
Yeah, me too, man.
And it's embarrassing. I've only ever met him once, and I might have told the story already before, but I just said, "Can't Punish Me, fucking love that tune, mate. It's amazing."
He has never heard that before.
Yeah, exactly. And he just sort of went, yeah. And I was like, oh, you know what I mean? But I was like, he's probably sick of hearing people say that to him.
No, he loves it.
You know, but he was at La Scala. He wasn't the most friendly, but I know he's a friendly guy. People have spoken so highly about him, you have in particular, and other people. So I'm not going to hold that against him. But Dom, I'm a big fan. I've always loved your music, mate. And but Can't Punish Me. But you know what tune as well? Mechanics.
Yeah, I told him that. Actually.
Oh, we talked about it before.
Yeah, you told me that was your favorite Dom tune, and then I spoke to him like the same day or the next day, and I mentioned that to him. He was like, "Holy shit, he knows that!" And
bruv, see what annoyed me. I've got. It's so annoying actually because I think I told you this because it was shout out White Label Records, Camberwell, and shout you out. And basically, I remember Tom, who ran the shop. I remember he was like, "There's something wrong with his tune."
Yeah.
He goes, "There's something wrong with his tunes." And then Equinox and I went into the shop. He's like,
the beats were too big.
Yeah, well, he just said it sounds distorted, and then we're like, "Well, play on, let me hear it," and then it come in and it dropped, and we're like, there's nothing wrong with this,
I'm pretty
mate.
sure that Dom mentioned that was 100% how he wanted it.
Yeah, any Eamon head would hear that, like, you know, and you know, I think that was one of the things for me with that track, because it's the first time I'd heard Eamon kind of processed in an almost alien-like fashion. Like, you know what I mean? It was like...
He slammed the fuck out of those
He
tunes.
made it sound so disgusting and dirty. Just...
Singing cymbals.
Just absolute devastation to the break. Just ripped it to pieces. Mechanics, Dom and Roland on Out of 31 Records. Shout out Dot Scott, you're a legend as well for putting that out, having the balls to put it out. Because I'm not sure if everyone really... I don't know if... Because, I mean, I know there was copies in that shop for quite some time because people, I just think, thought it wasn't right. But all the proper heads, we all knew. So, I mean, I hope it did sell. You know what I mean? You know, whatever. I don't really care. But anyway, back to you.
Let's just talk about Dom for 2 hours.
We can talk about Dom for 2 hours, yeah. You just have a big old Dom off. But no, but back to you, Gridlok, the man. You got introduced to jungle drum and bass, AK-1200. He's showing you the way, taking pills, you've gone in there. So how did you go from that introduction to becoming what, I mean, many would consider somewhat of a legend in the scene? How did that... Where did you start making tunes and who with?
Okay, I just gotta get over that legend thing. I realized I was never gonna make it in a rock band. I tried from like 18 to 22 to be in a band.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the most horrible thing ever. If you can't get signed to a major label, you end up like a drug addict in a ditch. Like there's no in between at all, period.
It must be hard for
And
a
when
band.
I started, I gave up on music. Like I was just into like doing my job and meeting chicks. Like I gave up on music for a year or two.
Yeah.
And when I realized that the people making the drum and bass music, those CDs, when I realized that those were like solo projects.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I could do this by myself on my computer.
Yeah.
You know, that was the mission. That was the mission. Like, be able to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
That was so appealing, man.
Yeah.
You know, I've always been into computers. I got my first Atari when I was 4 years old. It was like 1982.
Right.
And I still have that in my studio.
Yeah.
And not that I use it.
Yeah.
But, I was programming like beep music in BASIC when I was like 4, 5, 6 years old.
Fucking hell, so you're a bit of a savant in that way.
Yeah, I've always been into computers, you know,
yeah.
and I've always any money I've ever made has been from computers. Whether before music, I had like computer jobs.
Yeah.
And you know, you can just do that shit yourself. They don't care if you wear a suit. Like they just want you to do the work, and it's very like you're in control. I'm a digital nomad, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the music was that plus music mixed together equal drum and bass. So that's how I started doing it.
So it's via the computers. And then your first signing?
First signing?
Yeah.
My first signing was a label that me and my buddy started called Techno Organic, and it was a local label in Tampa. And,
Excellent.
We had...
Shout out to Techno Organic.
We had 8 releases, all on vinyl.
Yeah?
I'm pretty sure we sold out every release too. Like we eventually sold them all, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We would do between like 500 and 1,000 records, something like that. We did artwork. We were pressing it and cutting them in the States, which you probably have heard legends of how horrible that is.
I've heard, yeah.
So we'd be paying 4 times for a plate because louder, please, more bass, please, more treble, please. And it'd be like $300 for a lacquer. We'd end up paying like $1,200 because we did it 4 times. So there's like no way to get the money back, but we just wanted to compete with British music because that's what we were inspired by. You're trying to do a set and you play your record next to something cut in England. It was just like embarrassing. It was. So that was how we did our whole label. Unfortunately, I think maybe like at the very end, for like the last release that we did together, I think we had hooked up with someone in LA he was cutting dub plates for people for Hive and stuff. So we had somewhat of a better grasp on how to do a dance record. He did some for us. What was that called? Shit. I forget. But everyone in the States knows who I'm talking about. It's the guy in LA that cuts the dubs.
Right, okay.
He still does it now.
Put it in the comments, please. And you mentioned Hive.
Well, yeah, we're talking about my passenger. That's definitely going to come up.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to...
That's a little further down the road.
It is, but okay, all right, well, yeah. So you were cutting dubs, you did the
yeah, so that's pretty much a good, quick of the beginning, because I really was not doing very good work then, and I was still learning, and I hadn't really linked up with anybody yet. It was just the early days. I had met Dave then, but I was too much of a noob for him to take seriously. Right. I was just like another kid in the crowd that wanted him to help me do whatever. Like, come on, man, let's do a collaboration. It's like, who are you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, send me one song that you've made first.
And so were you making all the tunes, your first tunes you were making by yourself?
Completely on my own. I was working at like 140 BPM.
Yeah.
Only using like amens and et cetera. Like, I didn't know anything other than the absolute basics,
Yeah.
And it was all terrible. It wasn't until I got a sampler that things elevated.
So what was the first sampler?
EMU. EMU E5000 Ultra.
E5000, yeah, okay. Yeah, because I always remember that everyone was like Aka, and then the EMU started to get really good. And I remember Fracture and Neptune, they had an EMU, they got the EMU in.
The people that I thought sounded good were using EMU, so I wanted
it seems as though everyone that had EMU at a certain point, their music sounded so
really
much better.
Good.
Yeah, it was very, very interesting.
I'm thinking of two people off the top of my head, which is Optical and Future Cut.
Optical used EMU?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And both of them had like this... like Future Cut sounds like Optical kind of in the production. It's really, really good.
I've got goosebumps thinking about moving 808s and High Tech Dreams.
Oh, both of them.
Both sides. Like, everyone always talks about moving 808s, and I love that. It's on the same record, yeah. Okay. And the thing is, everyone talks about moving 808s.
So, it's the same. Like, they're all just the shit.
They're just both incredible tunes, but High Tech G just like, and it sounded like New Romantic.
That's tech step to me.
But to me, in my head, I remember listening to like New Romantic shit growing up as a kid. And like the soft cell and
industrial,
that industrial sound. And so I never really heard anyone. There's been a few people. Obviously, Dom had touched on it, a little bit with.
I think that's where I'm gonna just. I don't want to keep it optical. That's where Matt got it from. I think he nicked. Like, not Nick. That's nasty.
Yeah, inspired.
He was inspired by Dom because
he's a godfather.
Matt's more like into the funky.
No one did the Dom shit until Dom.
Right.
There wasn't anyone.
And they were doing tunes together, and Ed Rush also.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's really it. If you want to give someone respect for all that, that's got to come back to Nico.
I was just about to say, Nico is someone that I would hopefully...
He spawned that sound, really.
I think that he was clearly... I mean, this is just me as a fan listening. I don't actually have any knowledge, but it was clear that there was something happening around this guy. And that everyone that went near him sort of became like, you know what I mean? Like,
better.
And, it's just...
He was giving away the secrets, which is a good thing.
Yeah, there's certain people in the scene, Pete Parsons as well. He's someone else that I would love to sit down with one day. But these are like, it's the Nikos, the Pete Parsons, it's people like him, Busy Bee, people like that who weren't just making tunes for themselves, but because they were making so much music for other people, they've just ingratiated themselves in the culture in a very defined way. I mean, Nico...
No U-turn.
No U-turn, I mean... holy fucking shit.
Responsible for everything that's on that side of the spectrum.
Yeah, absolutely.
Around now. Even if people don't know it.
Yeah. Look, if you don't know No U-turn, like, if there was like 5 or 6 labels, you're going to say, all right, go and check out this label, go and check out that label, because then you get a picture of drum and bass history. No U-turn is definitely one of those labels.
I think so.
They might not have had what would be considered the big sort of commercial smashes. Certainly not.
That's why they're important.
But I think that's why they're important, because they set a trend that hasn't really been fucked with today. To this point, it's still, we listen to Calix TB, guys like that. That sort of all, for me, from listening in, it all came from that
I would
point.
say Calix's first album for sure.
Yeah.
The Moving Shadow one.
Yeah.
That's from that side of the fence.
Yeah.
those people using breaks more, and
well, that's the
snare
difference.
doesn't always have to be on the 2 and the 4, kid.
Yeah.
This isn't house music. You know, DJs can blend it even if the snare is not in the same place. Sometimes it actually sounds better when you got like a 2/4 snare playing with a 1/3 snare. You know, like it can actually make it even more hype.
You're never gonna hear me argue with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think if there's the other train of thought that, you know, some people like to have that 2/4 thing because they want to build music around.
I love it too, man. You can nod your head to it. It's great. It's,
absolutely.
It's rock.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
It's hip hop. It's rock.
Yeah.
But that just goes again back to the James Brown, Herbie Hancock analogy. It's like I love both.
Yeah.
And when you listen to God, man, I'm getting stoned.
No, this is good.
Brain farts on names.
What, the James Brown stuff?
Thank you.
Yeah, JB.
James Brown makes you just fucking, you know, like scurry like a fish.
Yeah.
Which is what jungle makes me do. You know, you just like bob into all the different inner beats within the beats, you know what I mean? And then the more Herbie Hancock thing, it's like more in the groove.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So which one is better than the other? I mean, for me, it's what mood are you in?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I mean, it's not really a matter of which is better. It's just who.
They're just resonates. Masters.
Yeah, they're both.
They're two masters.
They're both amazing.
Yeah, as far as that within drum and bass, man, it's a shame. Certain artists that feel like they can't ever go outside of the 2/4 snare. It's like, we're not house music.
No, I agree.
You know, everyone loves the drum and bass rhythm. It's fine, but you're allowed to do other stuff too.
Yeah, I will. As a person that
it won't be a hit probably. But you don't have to make every tune be a hit.
No, but I don't think people necessarily try to do that. I think there's artists that are always just going to just do what they feel, and they're just going to make what they're making. The Paradoxes, the Sebas, the Digitals, you know, even Double O, and you know,
Paradox, man, what a fucking champion.
There's always going to be artists that are going to push the boundaries. And
you're a lighter thief.
I am a lighter thief. I'm from South London,
Enough said.
So you put out those releases on your label.
Yeah, man.
And then that led to what? How did that get you?
Okay, this is the thing. I'm trying to remember how I got from there to California. I'm pretty sure that I was just feeling stuck, you know, because there was some local stuff going on in Tampa.
Yeah.
AK was up in Orlando.
Right.
I was down in Tampa, and there was guys doing stuff, but it was so short-sighted. Like, I had big ideas. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to put out releases on the best labels, and nobody was thinking that big. They were just thinking like local, and I think I just fizzled out of that at some point. I was like, it just grew into it because I think I can't remember the first time I went to Europe in terms of if I was in Florida or in California, but I was already definitely traveling nationally when I was in Florida. And no one else in Tampa was. I had no one to grow with. Like, you need people around you that are doing better than you so that you can grow and learn, you know?
My missus was saying that to me recently,
So I ended up in Oakland. This guy, DJ Sifu, he owned Thermal Recordings.
Okay, yes, I know Thermal,
I moved into his basement, which is where Polar was living before me.
Polar, fuck.
So I get to the Bay Area,
I'd
right?
love to meet him.
And that was like my initial hookup people.
Yeah.
Like I was hooking up with Funkatech.
Yeah.
And Polar.
Real quick, Funkatech as well. Yeah, of course I know Funkatech.
Yeah, UFO, Sage, Juju.
I know all these names. See, these are some names that Ryan's pulling out. And Polar, I've got to say, Polar was an artist. You know, you talk about that autonomic thing now, and
he's sick, man.
He was one of them guys that was pushing sort of like that techno kind of fusion drum and bass thing. There was him and a few others at the time, and then Breakbeat Science was putting out all that stuff.
In the group, less regulated version of TV.
Well, yeah.
You know, because they were both in a...
Yeah, but TV used to be pretty out there, man.
Because he was around Polar.
Yeah. But he's still... But I've got to give TV his due, because for the whatever start...
Does it sound like I'm just on TV?
No, I know you're not. I know you're not. But I feel as though that, you know, some of his fans from back in the day might not necessarily, who really like, really early stuff, they probably wouldn't necessarily get on with what he's doing.
You're
now.
talking to me because I loved Black Science Labs.
Yeah, exactly.
And I loved Calyx's first album, which
Absolutely.
I'm on also.
Yeah.
To me, like, that shit was so sick. Like, Calyx was like right in the pocket with what Violence Recordings was doing.
Yeah, Violence Recordings.
You know? Which was what I was a part of. So I felt like he was my brethren in terms of tone out there in England.
Just real quick though, finish your point, sorry.
No, that was my point.
Oh, right, because I was going to ask you about Violence.
Just that I liked their music better before they got together.
Yeah, right, okay. That's fair. It's your opinion.
They had like 5 or 6 that they made together that I was like, gotta play that for sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Look, I'm gonna state categorically, I probably would have never played any Calyx TV stuff, like as a partnership. However, every time I've heard them play out, and I've been fortunate enough to be on lineups with them randomly, maybe 2 or 3 times now. I've been very fortunate, just recently down in Orlando. And I've always been absolutely blown away by their music. Like, it would never really fit in what I play. But I absolutely love listening to. That's what I mean. There's certain people that I'm never going to necessarily play their music or be involved with them necessarily in any kind of way. But I just look from afar and I go, fuck, just absolutely amazing. Like, no, but really, it's like, Calyx and TB.
I mean, isn't that how most music is supposed to be?
Well, that's how most music is supposed to be. Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah, I suppose it is. But I think that obviously once you're involved, on some level in the scene, it's like, well, how much of a relationship do I have with them or whatever.
I prefer being a fan.
I love being a fan. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm a fan that actually gets to share lineups with them. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, it's a weird situation.
I can relate to that for sure.
Yeah, and it's like, and Dot Scott, I still get starstruck around Dot Scott. Stupid, but I don't know why. But it's because he's the Last Action Hero. Like I remember seeing him at Laserdrome in like '94. Like in the second room, played like 2.5 hour set, absolutely smashed it, and
he's so cool. Like you just want to be as cool as him.
Like I couldn't speak to him when he got in the box with me.
I can't remember if I've ever met him before. I'm basing that on his persona.
Right. Okay.
The way he is on Twitter, the way his music is, like that guy's too cool for school, man.
No, he seems cool.
You know
what I mean?
Humble as fuck.
Yeah, he seems really cool.
Just a Don. What can you say?
So I want to get you to get.
We're in Oakland.
So we're in Oakland. What do you mean you're in Oakland?
That's what we were talking about a second ago.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is that you obviously put out a release on your label. Then what about Violence Recordings? When did that come in? Was that?
Yeah, that happened in San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah.
I was with the people I already mentioned, and then I'm sure I'm leaving something out, and someone's gonna be pissed at me, but I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
No, I'm not apologizing. I'm apologizing to him. I'm forgetting.
Don't.
But stuff happened. I'm doing my thing in the Bay Area, and then I moved into the city after.
No, because you said you moved into basically Sifu and Polar.
When I was there is when I met Hive.
Yeah.
Because I had met him once a long time ago in Miami, but it was just passing by gigs thing. This was the first time we really met, and he had just moved from LA. He gave me some music. I wasn't a Hive fan. Like I hadn't dug in to become one. I knew he was around.
Yeah, Hive was the first person for America. The people in the UK were sort of like,
yeah, of course.
He was like the first one. Everyone was like,
that's pretty much when I met him.
Yeah,
was when he was starting to blow up. He
was like the first one really that I was.
I remember when he went on his first trip to England. I think it was his first trip to England, and he was touring with Keaton and shit.
Yeah, he played. I saw that. I saw one of those dates. I can't remember where they played in London, but I did see. I've seen him play it once.
I'm sure he did Hardware.
I think he played a Hardware. Yeah, I think I saw the Hardware. Yeah.
And I was around for all that.
No, at the end.
Not at his level yet. I'm still not at his level, but that achieved what I wanted. I wanted to be around people that were doing more so I could grow.
Yeah.
And once Hive
got
into the picture, man, he was so driven, and he was just ready to start something new because he had gotten out of LA and was doing his shit with Daddy Kev down there before, and he was like clean slate. And man, we hit it off so good, man. Like that's my homie.
Yeah.
We both want like. He'll tell you the same thing. Like, we know a lot more about music now than we did before we met each other.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I taught him everything I knew. He taught me everything he knew.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to sample a record properly before I met him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I would even say that and this is just me being honest, I would say I was one of those people that was condescending towards sampling.
Right.
Because I didn't appreciate the artistry of it.
Right.
But once I saw Hive sample,
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Because he'd play a record, and I'd be like, what is this, like, dumb music that you have?
Yeah.
Example, like some like random shit,
yeah,
like shit that's cool to sample. And he would grab this piece. It was like after a crash or something, like in the middle of a note in another note, and it's like the noisy part.
Yeah.
And like you wouldn't even think that that is anything. And like next thing you know, that's a loop, and it's disgusting. Like, man, you heard that in that song.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that sampling is actually amazing. And I've been a champion for it ever since those days.
It's so important. To do it in the right way.
I don't want it to ever go away, you know?
How would you, because this was a subject matter that came up in the last podcast with Coco Bryce. And he said that there's no boundaries to sampling. So if you can, so would you sample off another jungle record?
I have.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
I have. I would say my number one victim is Paradox. Because
but he wanted people to sample.
Yeah, he gives you like a whole plate of breaks. Like, I definitely use some of those.
That's
Thanks
fair,
for that shit. It was dope.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I sampled a few too.
I think he gave me one even after I got known a little bit more. He sent me like one of his EPs, and man, that had a dope CD on it.
Yeah.
Like it was, the vinyl was all tracks.
Yeah.
No breaks on that one. And then it had a CD with breaks.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, he made all those, like, they weren't just lifted off a record. He like crafted them up, and they were nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I stole his shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll steal it. I'll steal anything. But you know, there's like it's an unspoken threshold that if you cross the threshold into being creative and making your own, then you get respect. If you ride off of it to just cheaply achieve a goal, then you're not going to get respect.
This is the thing, and this is what I was trying to like understand, you know, when I've heard this argument before, because some people are just like, doesn't matter, I can sample what I want, whatever, and I'm like, but if you're sampling from the same genre, to me, it somehow feels cheap. It feels a bit cheap.
It's got to be warranted, man.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason for it. I feel like breaks is probably fair, but
you know, the only that,
and maybe bass lines.
The only really obvious shit that I've sampled from my own genre is like old school sounds.
Yeah.
You know, like hardcore.
Yeah.
Like Mentasm
from
old
hardcore
records.
That's fair.
Stuff like that. That shit I shamelessly use.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's funny though, but why does that seem okay?
Because
it's weird because it's
keeping it alive.
Okay. Yeah, I guess, but it's weird as.
And I want it to sound authentic.
No, but it's funny because I know most people listening to this would feel like that, you know, producers would feel that was okay to sample Mentasm.
Right.
But then if there was something else, like an old jungle record, and you just sampled, say, like Leviticus or, you know.
I sampled an Amen from Aphrodite when I was first starting. And it was like the only Amen I had in my sampler for a while.
Listen, Big Boya, the Amen programming in that tune is fucking outstanding.
Yeah, he was all scattered out, man.
He's Amiga guy.
He was an editor.
Yeah, he was an Amiga man. He used to come on Amiga, like, you know, Busy Bee.
That's how I know you and AK had talked about Aphrodite for a lot. I was never in tune with that American thing that was going on. I knew Aphrodite because of his jungle stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And those are some of the first vinyls I bought also, where his like jungle-y.
He seems quite pivotal in American jungle history, Aphrodite. Because a lot of my friends from America, all of them, pretty much, with a few exceptions, got to hear jungle for the first time. Or he'd be the first foreign DJ.
He was getting booked more than anybody else.
He was what?
He was getting booked more than anybody else.
Yeah, he did seem to be.
So that was it. And he had at least like 3 or 4 hits. And he was probably the only British DJ that had like a mix CD that American ravers were buying along with American DJs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I forget what it was called. He had like Woman That Rolls. This is like the 98, 99 era.
Right.
That was really...
I know Big Boya, that's the only one I know.
I think that was the time where what you and AK were talking about was more happening. It was like 98, 99.
Yeah.
He was like really just like, no doubt the biggest.
He was massive back then.
Drum and bass guy in the U.S.
Yeah.
And it was always like a lot of girls and people having a good time. It wasn't all moody.
Don't reveal this shit, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Don't reveal? I'm saying girls in the club, man.
Oh, right.
Girls in the club, man. You know,
I thought it was revealing all this shit.
No,
yeah, man, it was a
I
big
have
girl to this hotel room.
I have no clue about it. I mean, maybe, I have no clue. What I know is that he drew a 50-50 crowd.
Right. You got a lot of girls.
You know, which no one else probably still does.
No. It's Caliber's probably one of the only other people I see.
Still, yeah, boys want to learn how to make music like him.
Who, Caliber?
Yeah.
Caliber. Well, what's really funny about Caliber gigs, I've noticed, like, there's that first 2 rows of the absolute diehard boy fans.
They need to learn how to make music.
And they just want to just be near him, yeah? Mm-hmm. And then you've just got, you know, a good mix after that. Mm-hmm. But there's always that, I'd get so sick of it. But then again, it's like the day that they don't come anymore is the day that, things aren't going well, so it's like one of those things.
It's good to...
It's good that he's got those fans.
Glad that people care.
Absolutely, it is. It's always nice. And, you know, I'm probably just not used to it.
It's a wave.
Yeah.
If you're doing the right thing, it'll come at times.
Yeah. Cool.
I've been lucky to have like probably 3 of them or something.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to have a 4th.
Fourth
wave of people caring about.
Right. Yeah. Caring about your music. Yeah. Well, I hope so too. I can't see any reason why not. So you started releasing on Violence then? Would that be like the next thing once you hooked up with Hive?
I think like before Violence I had cracked into England already.
Oh, okay.
So like I was starting to do like small labels in the UK. Like Gain Recordings.
Okay.
Nerve, which was one of Kamal's homies. Yeah. That's how I met Kamal, I think.
Kamal Rob Data, yeah.
What else? Friction gave me an early go.
Go on, Friction.
What was his old label called? Transparent? Was that it? No, blanked. I didn't get anything on it. It was way before Shogun. Anyway.
Yeah, it was way before Shogun though, yeah. But anyway, go on.
Oh, and you know who else I have to mention too is Stack and Skynet. They turned me on early.
Skynet.
They did me on Audio Blueprint. That was when I was still in Florida that I did Audio Blueprint.
Audio Blueprint, I've got about 7 or 8 of the Audio Blueprint releases.
Yeah,
there was a lot of really interesting stuff on there. I love the stuff on there.
Just like deep, good sounding stuff. But that was actually before I even got to Cali. I'd done that. So those guys gave me an early shot, which was wicked. Mm-hmm.
And then
I was that guy that was trying to put music out everywhere, so there's no way I can name it all.
No, of course. We'll just go to your Discogs and
once I hit Violence, that was when I settled down with the whoring myself out everywhere.
Got ya.
And I still did some stuff on other labels, but it was only like selective. You know, like I did CIA, RAM, Hardware. Yeah. You know, the big boys.
This is it. Well, that's why people know who you are now.
Right.
And then what would your process has always been, because I know you've been not critical, but you've been sort of, you know, in all the discussions we've had, you've not been particularly enamoured with like the newer, cleaner sounds that you sort of like, you prefer. Yeah,
and I struggle with it because I want to make it in a way, but it's not my thing.
No, I don't think you should do it. If it's not your thing, you shouldn't do it. I mean, you can try, but if it doesn't come, then don't.
I appreciate the skill of it, and there's like a lot of producers. This is the thing. What's good and what's bad?
Exactly.
It's all subjective, anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And unfortunately, we've come to a point where right now. I'm more into like the Rick Rubin type of, if I'm just like picking an example everyone will know. Yeah. It's a little bit more rough around the edges, you know? Yeah. And who's to say that Rick Rubin's not a hit maker? No. Exactly. You know? But if you compare that to like modern Dre, for example. Yeah. Which is squeaky clean, like Hollywood perfection. Yeah. I'm more on the Rick Rubin side of the fence. Even though I love modern Dre, I wish I could make shit that good. Yeah.
There's a bit of me that kind of wishes that like the high end sort of, you know, liquid stuff or, you know, the commercial drum and bass. I kind of find myself in the studio sometimes thinking, could I try and make one? You know what I mean? Because I just want to know.
It takes skill, man.
But it's fucking hard. It's hard.
Anything that you want to be good at, you got to put effort into.
Like when you see them boys like Metric and Dimension and stuff and.
He's got that London team. I guess that's old now, but I like that one.
Well, whatever. I mean, I can't really. I'm not going to comment on their music.
What was it called? London something. It just goes London. It's like a jungle song.
Who did that?
Dimension.
I don't know. I know. There's a track called Runnings. HMP on Frontline recordings, and then there's a tune that Dimension did that just sounds. It's just a complete rip off of it.
Oh shit! Well, all I can say is I've done a few shows with him, and he's super nice.
No beef with him.
He wears slacks and shoes, but he will share his liquor with everybody.
Good for Dimension.
And he's a nice guy, and man, he's definitely made some good songs too.
Okay. Yeah.
That London one is a standout for me. I don't really pay attention to dubs, so he's probably got loads more than that I'd like, but.
Yeah.
That one tune I just knew stood out. I mean, you'd like it too if you don't know it. It's proper, man.
What is it, like a jungle? What?
Yeah, it's a proper jungle stomper, man. It's good. And it's not like screaming. It's just proper. It's proper.
Okay.
And you know what proper means.
I know. Yeah, I know what proper means.
It's fucking it's proper.
So I was offended then. How dare you? So we made that. Yeah,
Dimension made a super proper tune.
Made proper tunes. Well, what? So like we were talking about Loxy and Ink, like before.
I love them.
And
they were around in that whole time. I mean,
Yeah.
the first time I went to England, I stayed at Keaton and Loxy's house. Was that the very first time? It had to be. Yeah. So I mean, they were. I was. I think that I got in there because of Hive.
Right.
You know, he opened the door for me to become friends with Clayton and Ink and Loxy and Keaton and. There's loads of people.
Legendary.
Manifest, man.
Manifest, Dion. Shit, man, we gotta get him on.
Then Vicious Circle guys, like they were early homies.
Yeah.
I really had high hopes for them, by the way.
Vicious Circle.
Yeah, I thought that they were like the next big thing. I really did.
I think I think Bad Company put an end to all that.
No, they were after that.
No, but I just think that there were a lot of acts who were just before and just after Bad Company who were sort of swallowed up in the wake. It's a little bit like
yeah, you're right.
There's always that joke about Amory. Remember, there's that she was like a singer, like this famous like black sort of singer like Beyonce. And then basically she had a tune called One Thing, amazing track, right? Smashed it, got in the charts, and then Beyonce's management went and got the same producer, and they did Crazy in Love.
Right.
And then you never heard of Amory again.
Right.
It was like, and I think, like, not to say...
That reminds me of some other people we know, but I'm not going to say
Do you know what I mean? So I think when Bad Company came about, I think there was some groups out there that potentially suffered.
I think the only reason that Vicious Circle suffered was because of themselves. They were fucking wild.
Right, okay, I don't know. I mean, I'm pleading innocence. I've heard the stories.
They were wild.
I've heard the stories.
I love Vicious Circle.
Stuart, well, that was one.
Andrew and Dan and Simon.
Simon.
And then there was the fourth guy that was also really cool. I forget his name. He was like the honorary member. He didn't really do anything.
Right, okay.
But, you know, Simon's still doing tunes as Mortlock.
Right, okay.
And he really grew up to be a lovely person.
Yeah.
He did.
I've heard some stories about it.
I saw him probably in the last 5 years, and it was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Renegade Hardware, though, I mean, end of the day, that label was you know, you mentioned all those artists there, all of them, you know, and then even like the Chase of Status and Pendulum and all that, they all started on Renegade Hardware.
At that time, they were all good. They hadn't weirded
Hardware
out
could have been one of the biggest independent labels, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And I did have a problem with Clayton, but only in the super, super modern times when he just was lashing out at everybody, so he just assumed that I was with them or something.
Right, yeah.
But we worked it out the last time I saw him, but I never had a problem. I know he's like he's a character.
He's an outspoken man. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's
I always
why
made sure that my intentions were clear, so there's no confusion. It's like, I expect to get paid this much, and I'm expecting to give you this.
Yeah.
You know, as long as that's clear.
Yeah.
You'll never have a problem with it.
I've always had good dealings with him, but I also understand not many, you know, there's other people that haven't, and it's just
it's the same thing Ink was saying. It's a street code, man.
Yes. Yeah.
You know? And I understand that, so it's all good.
It's just, I think everyone's different, and you know, in most of the players in the scene, there'll be people out there who have stories about me, there's people out there who have stories, you know what I mean? You know, you can't control that.
He earned his scars.
He earned his due, man. He earned his due, man. He needs to be respected more. It frustrates me.
I flipped through his book. I checked out, just like Ink was saying, it's like I experienced a lot of it, so
yeah,
didn't need to necessarily rehash it.
It's a strong read. I was fortunate enough to be allowed to read it quite early in in the writing of it. And thank you, Clay, for trusting me with it. And like the Bookham story and just
there's a lot of stuff in there that we're finally just spelled out clearly.
Yeah, it just there's certain ones that you're just like, you were going to do that to Bookham.
Yeah.
Like, really? They never actually did it. I mean, it was just, but like, you know, just
but
sort
shit,
of shows.
man, what can I say bad about him? He let me play in the end, man. He let me play in the end.
Absolutely. Yeah, I played at the end twice because of Clay. I played at Ministry of Sound twice.
He got me. I'm pretty sure that I was on Ram because of him. Because that was an end thing.
Yeah.
If you're playing at hardware at the end, then maybe you can play at Ram at the end.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then I got to do releases on Ram. So, I mean, he really hooked it up, really. It was because it's like putting in the work, right? Like going through the, whatever you call it, you know? Just starting at zero and trying to get to hero. You got to go through the steps, you know? Yeah.
Absolutely.
He was definitely someone that helped me get on my way. So, yeah, I've never talked shit about Clayton.
No.
Motherfucker.
He likes to talk shit.
Even though he thought I did.
Yeah, no.
He's all heated up over like some hardware reunion party that I didn't show up to. But it was like, he never sent me tickets. He's like bashed me on the internet saying, you're all washed up, that's why you're not even touring Europe right. It's like, motherfucker, I live in Europe. He just didn't know what was going on. He made himself look stupid, really, but...
He goes for the jugular, though. You know what I mean?
It's all good.
He just goes for the throat, you know what I mean?
You know, there was a virus party in London, and I was there, and he was there, and I saw him, and I just went straight up to him, just like right in his face, let's sort this out right now, and we sorted it out, and we gave each other a hug, and it was all good, so... No worries.
He's a good guy, man.
So that was like the beginning of Violence. And then we did our album with Keaton and Echo. Man, that was just like all super epic.
Yeah.
Went really, really good. Everything went super good.
What?
I don't know. I'm trying to put together a story for you.
No. Because I was going to ask you next. Because so you've put out these releases of Violence. You've started coming to play for Reggae Hardware. You know, all these sorts of different things happening. So what year are we at now then, would you say?
Like 2004.
Right, okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
This is like right when I'm doing shit like remixing Compound, Fred Rush and Optical.
Right, okay, yeah.
Remixing Carrier for Fierce and Cause for Concern.
Yeah.
I remixed Squash for Total Science.
Yeah.
I did that big Mampy Swift tune.
Right.
Trippin'.
Yeah.
This is like the biggest tunes in the scene, man.
Man.
It's like just boom, 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 all
Yeah.
within like a year or two period.
Yeah.
And so now I had built myself up.
Yeah.
So now it's like 2005, 2006. So it's like me, I built myself up. Hive, he's built up.
Yeah.
He did Bring It On, like that was a huge
I
don't need to mention Neo, but you know, like Keaton and him had done Bring It On. So
Yeah.
like him and Keaton and me and Echo, we did an album in 3 months.
Yeah.
You know, which was the Welcome to Violence album, and everything was just like, everything was perfect in terms of timing and where we were and what was happening. And we even had like the best management. We had what's his face? Everything was set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Circle was doing our bookings. Like
Yeah.
everything was sweet.
Yeah.
And then Pendulum came.
Yeah.
And we were cool. Like it was like competitive. It wasn't ever problems.
Yeah.
But really, we wanted that spot.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted that spot, and Pendulum was just better.
Yeah,
we didn't get it.
They shut shit down, man.
Yeah, we didn't get it, man. You know, it was right at the same time. Like they probably had their shit like 3 months later or 3 months earlier or something. It was just the same window. And even though everything was going perfect for us, Pendulum they blew the doors off everything, right? So there was no denying it. All eyes were on that. That was the album of the year. That was the new act. That was the thing.
What was that first album called?
Was it Hold Your Colors?
Hold Your Colors.
I think that was their first one.
Yeah.
And literally, and I hope Fresh is cool with me saying this, literally he gave me the same offer he gave Rob Swire, and I didn't take it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, move to London, stay with me, and let's build your shit up. And I think my wife was even in England with me when he did that, and I like went over to him like, Fresh, offered to move us to the UK.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't ready for something crazy like that.
Do you regret that decision?
Yeah. But I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
You know, I was like still nervous even being friends with him.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's fair. It's fair. And I mean, would you say that, you know, if you're at that level, surely you must know though, even though you feel you aren't ready, you must know that you're capable, because if someone like Fresh is asking to like, is prepared to sort of like put time and money, effort into you and invest in you at the time.
It was already a win just because he liked my music.
Yeah. Okay. That's well.
You know? That's all. You want to talk about like motivations? Like I mentioned at the beginning about like, this is a job, get money, can't do a band, whatever.
Yeah.
But the reason I took it far was literally, I want the people I love to think my music's good. That was my main motivation. I wanted Dom, I wanted Optical, I wanted Goldie, I wanted people like that to think that I was decent.
Yeah,
you know, that was really my motivation.
And do you still have that now, would you say?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would still mean as much today if Goldie or Dom.
Definitely, dude.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Dude, Dom, we had a long talk like 2 weeks ago, and he was bigging up some of my album tunes, and he sent me like a video of him playing it. Man, it still like makes me feel funny, you know? He's like one of my best friends. Like, we're on the same age. It's, you know, there's no reason why I should be feeling funny about it, but I still do, you know?
We'll talk about that. So you say you're working on an album. How long's that been going on?
I started it during lockdown, basically.
Right, okay.
And it's almost done.
Mostly drum and bass? You said you might want to...
It's all drum and bass.
Yeah.
Of course. No, not of course. I did a down-tempo album in 2014.
Yeah.
Which is free on my SoundCloud if you want to hear it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's the SoundCloud link?
Just Gridlock, I guess. Just type... I mean, I'm the only person that spells it that way. So
right, okay.
Just spell my name right and you'll find it.
Make sure I've got the right spelling, by the way.
Yeah, the new one is all tunes. And
sort of more dance floor or more contemplative or...
well, I'm going to announce the title right now for the first time.
Oh, easy.
Which is called Symptoms of the Chaos Mind.
Symptoms of the Chaos Mind. Holy shit. Heard it here first.
And, that's what it's about, is what it sounds like it's about.
About the symptoms of a chaos mind. Whose mind? Is that your mind? Or,
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But why is it in chaos?
Because I wanted to go too many different directions.
Right, okay, yeah.
And so I went all those different directions. I mean, anyone that knows my full catalog knows that I've gone all over the place.
Yeah.
I've never gone all over the place in one thing, though.
Right. You've always sort of kept it.
Well, if I do a tune that sounds a certain way, I'll do it to that label, you know. But this time, I've put all of that in one place. And, you see you're getting your thing ready.
Well, yeah, I was going to get the thing ready. What I might actually do is we're going to pause it right there because you want to play a couple of the tracks, right? Maybe.
You're running the show, man. Are you done with the history lesson?
Oh, I mean,
we'll just like skip everything from 2006 to 2023.
No, I don't want to do that at all because it just felt like you'd said all that you needed to say. But
there's one thing I have to mention,
Please.
which is the
really
Prolix album.
Sorry, which one?
The album I did with Prolix.
Right, okay, of course, yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
like there's all kinds of stuff I've done in my career. But that was another like important part of it that needs to be mentioned.
And how did that come about?
That was like 2014 era.
Yeah.
I met him at the end at a Hardware night.
Right.
He was a punter in the crowd, smacking the wall. It's like, who's this tall motherfucker?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you're fucking Gridlock, da-da-da.
Yeah.
And then that was, you know, the beginning. And then years later, he's a producer and has tunes with Commercial Suicide and Hardware and Playas and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, I met you once at the end. I'm like, holy shit, I remember you because you're so tall. Like, you remember him, man. And we ended up doing an album together. We toured the world together. We played like 50 shows together. America, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, traveling the whole thing together, you know? We got to know each other's wives, everything. So yeah, I feel like Prolix is an important part of the story that has to be mentioned. And there's other ones too, but that one's like, you know, at the level of the violence and stuff.
Yeah,
has to be said.
And has there been anything since then that you feel has matched that level, or is it? When did you stop? Because it felt like you sort of disappeared like from it all a little bit.
Well, my last release was right before Corona.
Right. Okay.
So I've been pretty quiet since Corona.
Yeah. So that's like sort of 2019, obviously. Yeah.
2020. So like my last release was in 2020.
Oh, it was in 2020. Right. Okay.
No, I did a remix for Eat Brain. I did have some more releases. Sorry, I forgot. But generally speaking, I feel like I haven't made a huge push since Corona. Yeah.
Right. I need to get back to that, and that's what this album's about.
Yeah.
And has it just been you? Just you? No collabs?
Solo.
Oh, okay.
Which I haven't done that since 2008.
Yeah.
Done an album on my own.
Yeah. And how's that been? Was it?
Yeah, it's just gonna, like, anyone that wants to hear what I'm about, this will be that.
Right. Okay. Right. I don't know. I'm going to stop it there. So we're you're gonna give a little quick world exclusive blast. Never done this before on the show, so not sure how the sound's gonna come out.
What's happening right now?
What?
This is so overdue.
Yeah.
That it feels like I just have to do it, because if I don't do it now, it's going to be in 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, I know that in the scene, people want to make money and keep everything a secret until everything's pressed and the campaign's ready and you can go fucking take over the viral networking and get all your money and famousness. It's just retarded now how long I've been holding out on my fans and on growing a pair of balls and letting people hear the music I've been making, because I'm just like self-conscious about meeting the standards that I've set for myself.
Okay.
And this is me saying fuck it and just playing you some music.
I love it. Let's go.
I don't know where to. I'm just gonna start with that one since you.
Yeah, I love it. What was that one? Keep it.
Keep cool.
Keep cool. Sorry.
I'll just. It's in low quality, so I'm not worried about people DJing this. But I won't play the whole track. I'll just like let it play the intro, the drop, and then a couple of the sections.
Okay. Cool. Let's do it. You haven't said it's a goldie. That's fucking bad. Is that what you're going to prepare to play? Or can I hear one more?
I thought we'd talk about it. I don't know.
Oh, no, absolutely. Well, how did that get started then? How did that come about?
Oh, none of that. I just want to know if you liked it.
I absolutely fucking loved that. That's what I said to you. Have you not said this to Metalheads?
You think it's good for metalheads?
I think you should.
I love metalheads. That's why I want to make music that they would like.
I think you should send that to Anne. I think you should send that to Anne.
But you know, it's we mentioned off camera the 2 main labels I'm considering.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, fuck yeah. If that reminds you of metalheads and you're like, why did you set up the goalie? That's exactly the point of the song.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's so indicative of that particular era as well, the eras that we were talking about as well. But it's like still got a bit of a, fresh take on that. Right. And it's fun and it's epic, what we expect from a Gridlock tune.
Cheers.
So yeah, absolutely, fucking hell, nice one, man. I love it. But yeah, no, go on, give us it. You got me hungry now.
This one, I got a message the other day that I was pretty excited. Kamal hit me up.
Yeah.
And was like...
go and check out Kamal Rob Data.
I'm playing at Let It Roll
next
week.
Yeah.
Can you send me some tunes?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it. And I sent him all these.
Yeah.
And he told me that this one, which is called Good, Bad, and Badder.
Yeah.
Which is not the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's good and bad.
Good, bad, and badder. Yeah.
That this went off at Let It Roll.
Nice.
And that he thought it sounded. What did he say? He said it sounded chunky. When fucking Kamal tells you shit sounds chunky, that's what I was talking about earlier. You know, that's all I want.
So do you want the best people to like your music?
Yeah, man. Kamal was digging this. So if you don't like this, you're fucking whack.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah.
In the walls. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I like it, man.
That's that one.
I think the first one is more me.
You know like, sure. That's why I said Symptoms of the Chaos Mind. It's that one's more like a hardware kind of virus kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like the snare on the 2 and the 4, man. You know, I'm not really known for jungle, really.
Yeah.
But I love it, and I've done it, and this has some, you know.
It's a good tune. The Keep Cool is really, really good. But both are outstanding, though. This one has got vibe. What's this one called? Sorry.
The Good and Bad and Bad.
Oh, yeah, the Good, the Bad, and the Bad. Yeah, I did say that.
Yeah, man.
And it's Symptoms of a Chaos Mind is the album.
Yes, sir.
But no label as yet.
No labels yet.
Right, okay, so
maybe not ever now that I've done this.
Well, no, you did a little world premiere on the show. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. You gonna do one more?
No, I was gonna do 2 more at least.
Go on then. Let's go.
I'm just trying to give you the fullest range of styles that I can here. Yeah. So, which one do I want?
So what are you using to make tunes now?
Speakers.
No, I mean like what software?
Cubase.
Oh, Cubase, right.
Always. I mean, since Logic stopped being on PC,
right.
I switched to Cubase, and then I switched to Mac, so I don't know why I didn't switch back to Logic.
That's Logic, yeah. I was gonna say, no, but you stay faithful. I used to use Logic to it. Stop.
Let me think here. Yeah, I'll just play music.
Cool.
This is the thing. You want me to sum it up in 4 songs. That's why I made so many songs and it's called Symptoms of the Chaos Mind, because I can't represent myself with a couple songs.
But no, and you're not trying to. You're just giving a taste of the album. People got to buy the whole album to get the whole taste. That's the thing.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Okay, here's something more like that. Well, you can just hear it.
Yeah, don't give me. I was just saying to him, don't give him the whole tune, bro. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's like, that was outstanding. I like that one. That was fun. I like that. That was a bit like virusy, wasn't it? It was like on that sort of virus tip.
It was reminding me of some of the stuff we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
there's some of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'll just try to pick one more, I guess.
One more, I reckon.
You're digging the jungle vibes more.
I'm a breaks man, like you say, you know, don't have to in the 2 and the 4.
Well, that's the crazy thing. There's stuff in here for you.
I'm happy already. 2 out of 3. And like the thing is, the second one I still enjoyed, but it's just, you know, I can imagine myself playing the first one and this one more.
Word.
You know, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm not going to consider that on my next pick.
Don't consider it on your next pick. Play what you want, man.
Here's random shit.
Cool.
you got to hear 4 of the
Thank you very much.
14.
Well, that's the first on the podcast. Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Hopefully,
What's that one called?
that's called Mudfoot.
Mudfoot. Right. Okay. Cool.
It's about a character from the Junkyard Gang.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah,
Do you know who Bill Cosby is? You know who Fat Albert is?
Yeah, Fat Albert. Yeah.
Fat Albert in the Junkyard Gang.
Oh, right, yeah. That cartoon that he did. Yeah.
I always thought of like, you know that famous Metalheads picture with everybody together?
Yes. Yeah.
Which, by the way, Zara is the one that got that picture done.
Right. I see. Okay.
I always looked at that as like the Junkyard Gang.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Like all the little different characters with their different little identities.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of that back then.
That's sort of what that song is not into.
There's a Renegade Hardware one in a similar vein actually, like that. Which I think is even like it's just because no one's smiling. Like,
right. No, I've seen that one too. I just thought
it's just hilarious. It's just a bunch.
The Metalheads one is epic because there's so many people in that picture that you would never see together ever.
Yeah.
You know? But for that one picture, they were all there.
No, it's amazing. It's an amazing position. Yeah, look it up if you don't know what we're talking about. It was on the back of Platinum Breaks one?
I don't know. I saw it when Zara showed me the original thing. It was like a spread.
Right, okay.
Like,
why did they use it?
I think I'd only seen it on the internet or in magazines or something before.
No, but it was on a release, or maybe I'm mixing it up with something else. I can't remember.
It was just, it was a
wide shot. Yeah.
It probably had like 50 people in it.
Well, I know the movie Shadow album as well. Storms from the East. They had that picture on the back with like, quite a few of the guys. All
I don't know if I
know. Yeah.
I'm not as OG as you, man. You're like 2 years older than me. Wait, no, you're...
I'm old, man.
Yeah, you're 2 years older than me, I think.
I'm only 2 years, yeah. It's not.
But anyways, there's the music, there's the story. I'm not gone.
Still around.
Still around.
and then, so for now, you're just looking for a home for the album. We're talking about maybe.
I don't want to say any names in public.
Right. Okay.
But I.
No. Of course.
But I've got good choices.
Yeah.
And it will be available.
Yeah. No, I was going to say me and you were talking about potentially doing a night in Rotterdam as well.
Oh, if you want to mention that.
I think we should, mate. Yeah, I think we're going to try and
I'll let you take
put a bit of glitz and glamour into the jungle. You can
take the reins on that.
So look out for that. That's all I'll say for now. We're still looking for a venue, but we want to work together and sort of bring in some interesting acts to Rotterdam and see what we do.
You've done nights before, right?
I've done nights for years.
Yeah, me too. So like it's 2 people that have done nights before.
And we just want to start doing nights.
And we moved to a new town and we want to do a new
nights
night.
again. Yeah, sure. Let's see what happens. Yeah, man. Well, look, thank you very much, mate. It's been brilliant.
We'll finish our spliffs off camera.
Yeah.
I'll probably play him some more of this stuff.
I'm gonna hear some more of this album, man. Let's go. Anyway, until
you.
next time. Peace.